In the last lecture, we have seen the discovery of neutrons. The discovery of neutrons was made by Chadwick with the help of a nuclear reaction. In that reaction, he has bombarded or collided the helium nucleus with the beryllium nucleus. In the process, he converted these two nuclei into carbon nucleus, and उसी process में एक neutron का emission हुआ. Okay, so this particular reaction led to the discovery of neutron. उसके बाद we have seen what is the charge, mass, relative charge and relative mass of different fundamental particles. The charge value, the magnitude is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. You need to remember this value. You may or may not remember these particular values, mass ka, but just know the relation between the masses. The mass of electron is 1 by 1836 times the mass of proton, or 1 by 1837 times mass of neutron. Mass of proton is almost equal to mass of neutron. Okay, and the relative charge, we mentioned that as electron ka -1, proton ka +1, neutron ka 0. If I want to have the absolute charge, I just need to multiply this with 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. उसके बाद हमने एक क्वेश्चन किया था to arrange the particles in the increasing order of the E/m ratio, and we need to know only the magnitude. First of all, understand this question. E/m ratio का मतलब क्या है? The charge of that particular particle divided by mass of that particular particle. So क्या-क्या particles दिया है आपको? Electron दिया है, proton, neutron and alpha particle. E/m ratio of electron का मतलब क्या होगा? Charge of the electron divided by mass of the electron. इसको वैसा ही रखा मैंने, and I try to express each and every other particles E/m ratio in terms of this, so that I can compare. आप लोग you can always solve by putting the values of charge of electron and mass of electron, and you can get the value. Final values को आप लोग compare कर सकते हो, but it will be time consuming. आपको solve करके उसके बाद compare करना. Rather than that, what you can do is get everything in terms of E/m ratio of electron and compare. E/m ratio of proton मतलब क्या होगा? The charge of proton upon mass of proton. We know that magnitude of charge of proton is exactly equal to the magnitude of charge of electron. So E upon mass of proton के place में 1836 times mass of electron put किया. So overall हमको E/m ratio of proton क्या आया? 1 by 1836 times E/m ratio of electron आया. So it is clearly lesser than E/m ratio of electron because you are dividing it by 1836. Agreed? Then you have E/m ratio of alpha particle. You need to know what is meant by an alpha particle. Alpha particle is nothing but helium nucleus. Helium nucleus के अंदर क्या क्या है? You have 2 protons and 2 neutrons. Protons का charge, relative charge is 2 positive. So this is 2 times charge of proton, the charge of alpha particle. The mass of alpha particle is mass of protons plus neutrons present inside it. Mass of proton and neutron are almost same. Hence I am taking this as 4 times mass of proton. You can also take that as 4 times mass of neutron. Okay. So charge of alpha upon mass of alpha में charge of alpha के लिए 2 times charge of proton put किया, which is equal to 2 times charge of electron only, क्योंकि charge of proton and charge of electron का magnitude same है. 4 times mass of proton, 2 और 4 cancel करके half into charge of proton upon mass of proton, which is equal to charge of electron upon mass of proton is 1836 times mass of electron. So overall E/m ratio of alpha particle क्या हुआ? 1 upon 2 into 1836 times E/m ratio of electron. So clearly इन दोनों को compare किया तो ये further कम है, and इन दोनों के बीच में relation half हो गया. एक 2 का फर्क है ना? I'm further dividing this by 2, then I'm getting this value. Okay? E/m ratio of neutron तो 0 ही है because its charge is 0. So if I want to arrange them in increasing order, सबसे least तो neutron का हुआ. Then you have for alpha particle, then you have for proton, and highest is of electron. Okay. Okay. उसके बाद we have started with atomic models. The first model is given by J.J. Thomson, and his model is called as watermelon model or plum pudding model or raisin pudding model. इसने ऐसा कुछ कहा, the positive charge must be uniformly distributed throughout the atom, just like the pulp of the watermelon, and the negative charges are embedded inside those positive charges, just like the seeds of the watermelon. Suppose यही सच है करके मान लेते, मतलब ये जो J.J. Thomson's मॉडल है, if this is true, हमने Rutherford एक्सपेरिमेंट में ऐसा कुछ देखा है. When Rutherford performed the experiment, with the help of a gold foil and then radioactive material, which is the source of alpha particle. This radioactive material emits alpha particles. He made those alpha particles to pass through the gold foil. Whenever the alpha particles pass through, अगर J.J. Thomson's model valid होता तो क्या होना चाहिए? All the alpha particles must be slightly deviated. The deviation must not be so large because these are also having unit positive charge and this is having 2 times the positive charge. Both the charges are comparable, उतना भी ज़्यादा नहीं है. And moreover, these particles are coming with very high speeds. So whenever they come close, there has to be slight deviation or there has to be some deceleration of these alpha particles. Okay, the observation should be something like this. Slight deviations of most of the alpha particles. You should never get alpha particles passing through the gold foil without any deviation, and there should not be any deviations of considerable angles. Okay, ये हो रहे इससे हमने ये conclude किया, the entire positive charge must be concentrated in a small region. Whenever it is concentrated in a smaller region, the rest of the space will be empty. Hence, most of the alpha particles can pass through without any deviation. And because of the high amount of positive charge concentrated in a single region, whenever some alpha particles coming close to this particular region, there will be deviations having greater angles. Okay. And whenever these directly have head-on collision मतलब आमने सामने आ रहे तो there will be deviations greater than 90 or they can rebound. From the observation of very less number of particles having deviations greater than 90 or they got rebounded, we are concluding that that particular region where the entire positive charge is concentrated must be very, very small. Okay, 1 in 20,000 alpha particles got rebounded. The number is very, very less. इससे उसने ये conclude किया that particular space inside the atom where you have concentration of positive charge as well as concentration of mass, it must be very small. I'm also concluding that all the mass contributing units must also be present at the center. क्योंकि अगर mass भी ऐसा distribute हुआ तो, if the mass got distributed, whenever these alpha particles having comparable mass, whenever they collide with them, there has to be some amount of deviation. There is no deviation for most of the alpha particles, इसलिए mass भी यहाँ पे distributed नहीं है. The mass also must be concentrated at the center. Okay, and उसने ऐसा भी कुछ values निकाला है. The radius of the nucleus is of the order 10⁻⁻15 meters. You need to remember this, everyone. This is the value you need to remember. And radius of the atom is of the order 10⁻10 meters. And the volume ratio is 10⁻15 times or 10⁻15 times. Volume of the nucleus upon volume of the atom is 10⁻15. Volume of the atom upon volume of the nucleus is 10⁻15. Okay, 10⁻15 times बड़ा है. इसके लिए example क्या लिया हमने? If you are having a cricket ball at the center of the stadium, if the stadium is of radius 5 kilometers, that is similar to that of model of atom. Okay, उतना बड़ा होगा atom और nucleus उतना छोटा रहेगा. Yeah.
वो कौन से एटम का रेडियस है?
कौन सा एटम का रेडियस नहीं है, ये इन जनरल हर कोई एटम में the radius of the atom is of the order 10⁻15 meters. उससे थोड़ा deviations आगे पीछे. Okay, ठीक है. And इस केस में ये क्या, what is the, in the experiment he has used gold ना, so gold atom का ही होगा ना ये results.
Okay.
Okay, this is for gold atom because in the experiment he has used gold foil. Clear है? ये relation जो है ये valid होगा. इनका volume ratio जो है, this will be ratio निकाल ले रहे हैं ना, this will be valid for all the atoms. ये जो radius का order they can change, but the ratio will remain constant. So questions में आपको ratio के बारे में पूछेंगे rather than asking the atoms radius. Okay?
Yes.
ठीक है. Okay. ठीक है. उसके बाद हमने the last important point is in the experiment there were no observations for the position of electrons. In fact, we can never get any observation for the position of the electron because the electron's mass is negligible when compared to the mass of the alpha particle. So whenever alpha particles coming at high velocities collide the electrons, the path of the alpha particles will never change. ओके, और जो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स है वही उस प्लेस से निकल जाएंगे एंड द पर्टिकुलर एटम कैन बी आयनाइज्ड, but the path of the alpha particle can never be changed with the help of or by collision with electron. So because of this, उसने क्या कहा, the electrons must revolve around the nucleus just like the planets are revolving around the sun. He has given a statement that the electrons must revolve around the nucleus just like the planets are revolving around the sun. Hence his model is also called as planetary model. इन दोनों को कंपेयर करके उसने कुछ कहा है, hence it is called as planetary model. Is this clear? But
Yes.
इस particular statement के वजह से there is a drawback for Rutherford's model. What is the drawback? यहाँ पे लिखा हूँ, everyone concentrate now. Rutherford couldn't explain the stability of the atom, and the stability of atom he couldn't explain based on a theory called electromagnetic theory of Maxwell. ये जो particular theory है, first understand this theory. ये theory क्या कहता है? Charged particles, when accelerated, should emit electromagnetic radiation. मतलब they should emit energy in the form of electromagnetic radiation. Therefore, an electron in an orbit will emit radiation. The orbit will thus continue to shrink, and the electron should spiral into the nucleus. इसका मतलब क्या है? Let us try to understand. Everyone, सबसे पहले कुछ points, कुछ statements याद रखना. या tell me.
सर आपका वॉइस लैग हो रहा है.
अच्छा, okay, okay. Give me 2 minutes. Is this fine now?
Yes sir.
Okay. Okay. सबसे पहले कुछ स्टेटमेंट सब लोग को याद रखना है. The relation between energy and stability. Everyone. The relation between energy and stability. If you are having more and more energy in a system, that particular system will be highly unstable. Because of its energy, it will always try to interact with some other species. Okay? Agreed? अगर उसके पास कुछ एनर्जी नहीं है तो it won't be interacting with any of the species. If it is not interacting, it is stable by itself. Okay? तो अपने आप में कुछ है. So energy is always inversely proportional to stability. मतलब more is the energy, less is the stability. Less is the energy, more is the stability. Okay. What can I comment about the stability with respect to attractive forces? More are the attractive forces, more is the stability.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So can I say energy is also inversely proportional to attractive forces?
Yes.
Yes.
With respect to repulsive forces, क्या बोल सकते हो? If any system has more and more repulsive forces, that particular system is unstable. Okay. So if it is unstable, can I say stability is inversely proportional to repulsive forces? Agreed?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Or else I can say it will be directly proportional to energy. जितना ज्यादा repulsive forces रहेगा, उतना ज्यादा energy रहेगा, उतना कम stability होगा. Agreed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes sir.
ठीक है. Okay. So Maxwell का statement क्या है? सबसे पहले let us try to understand that. If you are having an accelerating charge, that particular accelerating charge will always tend to lose energy in the form of electromagnetic radiation. You are having an atom, you are having a nucleus, and you are having an electron revolving around the nucleus according to Rutherford's model. If it is revolving around the nucleus, let us try to understand if that particular electron has acceleration or not. What is meant by acceleration?
Rate of change in velocity.
Change in velocity per time.
Change in velocity per unit time is nothing but acceleration. So whenever you have change in velocity, I can definitely say that will be acceleration. Everyone.
Yes.
Okay. ये जो particular electron है, if it is revolving around the nucleus, the speed of the electron is constant. It will be moving with uniform speed. मतलब वो जो magnitude रहेगा, the magnitude will be constant. But we know that velocity जो है, it is a vector quantity. What is meant by vector quantity? One which depends both on
Direction.
magnitude as well as direction.
Dependent quantity.
Right? If either of them
Yes, sir.
changes, I can definitely say that particular quantity is changing. यहाँ पे electron का everyone try to understand the direction of the velocity. Suppose वो जो electron है इस particular point पे है तो the direction of velocity is in this direction. The direction is given by tangent drawn at that particular point. इस point पे this is the direction of velocity. अगर electron यहाँ पे रहा तो this will be the direction of velocity. यहाँ पे रहा तो this will be the direction of velocity. So at each and every point, what is happening to the direction of velocity? It is
Change.
continuously changing.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So if there is change in direction, can I say the velocity itself is changing?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
What is change in velocity per unit time? Nothing but acceleration.
Acceleration.
Yes.
So can I treat this particular particle, electron, which is revolving around the nucleus as accelerating charged particle?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
it is having some charge, accelerating charged particle. So Maxwell के हिसाब से क्या होना चाहिए? It has to lose energy. Agreed?
Yes.
According to Maxwell, this has to lose energy in the form of electromagnetic radiation. The energy it loses will be in the form of electromagnetic radiation. We will understand what is meant by electromagnetic radiation in this lecture only, don't worry. So it will be losing energy in the form of electromagnetic radiation. If something loses energy, what should happen to its stability?
Increase.
यहाँ पे देखो, energy is inversely proportional to stability. If something is losing energy, it has to increase its stability. इस particular system में stability किस वजह से आ रहा है electron को? It is because of its attractive force with the nucleus. The stability of electron in this particular system is due to its attraction with the nucleus. So if stability is increasing, what should happen to the attractive forces?
Increase.
Must increase. In order to increase the attractive forces, what should happen to the distance?
Decrease.
Decrease.
It should decrease, everyone. So क्या होना चाहिए आपको? ये जो particular electron है, after losing energy, it has to now rotate in a sphere of a smaller radius, or rotate in a circle or in an orbit of smaller radius. यहाँ पे भी वो electron accelerating charged particle ही होगा.
Yes.
तो यहाँ पे भी that will lose energy.
हाँ.
तो क्या होगा? Eventually,
Stability.
और
so it will lose energy continuously, or it has to lose energy continuously, and it has to fall inside the nucleus. Okay, and ये होने के लिए
Yes.
the time it requires to lose energy completely and it to spiral into this nucleus, it is 10⁻⁸ seconds. If you do calculations, सब उन्होंने calculations करके ऐसा कुछ बताया, 10⁻⁸ seconds में पूरा atom destroy हो जाना चाहिए. But ऐसा कुछ होता है? We know that atom is stable. We know that atom is stable. इसका मतलब this is not happening. So Rutherford couldn't explain the stability of the atom. Why is this not happening? Okay. एक important point है Maxwell के theory में. उसने क्या कहा? Accelerating charged particle. Very important. We will try to explore this in further experiments. Accelerating charged particle loses energy continuously. Loses energy continuously. And whenever something loses energy continuously, according to Maxwell, only the intensity of emitted radiation is changed. Only the intensity of emitted radiation is changed, but not its wavelength or frequency. मैक्सवेल का स्टेटमेंट में फर्दर और एक पॉइंट भी है, if something loses energy continuously in the form of electromagnetic radiation, उस particular radiation का एक characteristic है. The characteristic is only the intensity of the emitted radiation is going to change, but not its wavelength or frequency. So in order to understand Maxwell's theory, we need to first of all understand what is meant by an electromagnetic radiation. And we need to understand its properties, intensity, wavelength, frequency. तब हम समझ सकते हैं what is this Maxwell's electromagnetic theory. Okay? अभी हमको ये अंडरस्टैंड करना इंपॉर्टेंट है. First of all, Maxwell's theory, applying this theory to the context of electron, अप्लाई करना चाहिए कि नहीं, या रदरफोर्ड्स मॉडल जो है सही में वो गलत है. We need to understand this. ये जो पर्टिकुलर अभी फेल हुआ है ड्रॉबैक, इट कैन बी बिकॉज ऑफ रदरफोर्ड गलत हो सकता है, या मैक्सवेल्स थ्योरी जो अप्लाई किया है हमने एटम पे वो भी गलत हो सकता है. एग्रीड? ओके, सो वी विल ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट. एवरीवन क्लियर है? सो हमारा नेक्स्ट इमीडिएट टारगेट ये है टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज मेंट बाय इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक रेडिएशन. ओके
Okay.
ओके, बिफोर दैट आपको कुछ डेफिनेशंस चाहिए, not for the understanding this theory. In general, you need to know what is meant by isotope, isobar, isotones, isodiaphers. You will be asked questions based on these. What are isotopes? Isotopes are atoms having same atomic number but different mass number, same Z but different A. Example: protium, deuterium and tritium. Protium, deuterium and tritium. इसके बारे में ऑलरेडी हमने देखा है. Isobars are atoms having same mass number but different atomic number. Example: argon and calcium. You are having same mass number. The atomic number is 18 for argon and for calcium it is 20. और दो definitions है isotones and isodiaphers. Isotones and isodiaphers. Isotones मतलब atoms having same number of neutrons. Tones indicates neutrons. Iso मतलब same. Isotones मतलब same number of neutrons. If you see carbon 14, this is the isotope of carbon, 6C14 and 8O16. If you calculate the number of neutrons, how to calculate number of neutrons? Mass number minus the atomic number
minus atomic
equal to
number.
8. यहाँ पे भी neutrons is equals to mass number 16 minus atomic number 8, which is equal to 8 again.
8. Yes.
Two atoms are having same number of neutrons and they are called as isotones. Okay? इसके अलावा आप लोग क्वेश्चन पेपर्स में कभी-कभी isodiaphers करके भी कुछ देखते हो. Isodiaphers मतलब the nuclei or nuclides having different number of protons and neutrons, but there is same difference between protons and neutrons. मतलब if you are taking the n minus p value, I need to take n minus p, not the mass number minus the atomic number. I need to get the difference of neutrons minus protons. You will be having same number of neutrons minus protons number. Okay?
Surface.
Number of neutrons minus number of protons, that value will be same in different nuclei. Then they are called as isodiaphers. इसके लिए मैंने आपको यहाँ पे example कुछ दिया नहीं. After the lecture, please research for examples and please mark those examples here. ठीक है? Okay. Solve this question. Number of electrons, protons and neutrons in a species are equal to 18, 16 and 16 respectively. Assign proper symbol to the species. Answer, anyone? इसमें इलेक्ट्रॉन्स कितना दिया है? The electrons are 18, the protons are 16 only, and the number of neutrons are also 16. Okay. In order to get the mass number, what is mass number? It is nothing but sum of protons plus the neutrons, which is equal to 16 plus 16, which is equal to 32. If you see here, the number of electrons are not equal to the number of protons. इसका मतलब ये जो particular species है, it is an ion. Okay, and as electrons number are greater than the protons number, electrons are greater than proton, hence this has to be anion.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Anion मतलब electrons ज़्यादा है तो it will be negatively charged. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what is atomic number equal to? Atomic number equals to number of electrons or the protons present in a neutral atom. Okay, this is not a neutral atom. So you can say the atomic number in this case is nothing but number of protons.
Protons.
Okay, which is equal to 16. 16 atomic number किसका है? Sulfur. Sulfur having atomic number 16 and the mass number is 32, but this is an ion having excess of 2 electrons. So यहाँ पे आपको 2 minus करके लगाना है. Clear है? So the species is S2 minus.
सर हमको डायरेक्ट मास से भी पता चल सकता है ना कि कौन सा एलिमेंट है?
कौन सा एलिमेंट है मास से भी पता चल सकता है, एटॉमिक नंबर से भी पता चल सकता है, बट यूजुअली देयर कैन बी आइसोटोप्स, राइट?
Yes.
और देयर कैन बी आइसोबार्स. देयर कैन बी आइसोबार्स, राइट? 32 मास नंबर का कोई दूसरे एलिमेंट का आइसोबार हो सकता है. ओके, इट्स ऑलवेज बेटर टू गेट द एटॉमिक नंबर बिकॉज़ एटॉमिक नंबर्स आर यूनिक.
Yes, sir.
There are no two different elements having same atomic number. So try to get that using atomic number only. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Is this clear? Okay. Now we need to understand what is meant by an electromagnetic radiation to proceed further in the chapter. We need to understand Maxwell ने जो भी कहा है, that particular statement, is it applicable in the context of atom or not? या Rutherford ने जो भी कहा है वो पूरा गलत है. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Rutherford ने क्या कहा? The electrons must revolve around the nucleus just like the planets are revolving around the sun. If this is true, it couldn't explain the stability of atom as per Maxwell's electromagnetic theory. According to Maxwell's electromagnetic theory, any charged accelerating particle should lose energy continuously. Continuously का मतलब क्या है? Only the intensity of the radiation must be changed, but not its wavelength or frequency. And whenever something is losing energy, it has to attain stability. If it is attaining stability, its attractive forces must be increased. If its attractive forces are increased, it has to come close and close to the positive charge, which is nothing but the nucleus. And eventually it has to fall inside the nucleus and the atom must be destroyed. ऐसा कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. So we need to understand in detail about electromagnetic radiation. In detail मतलब उतना details में नहीं जाएंगे. We will be understanding it a bit. And we will try to apply Maxwell's theory to an atom. Okay? Okay. Before understanding electromagnetic radiation, first let us try to understand what is meant by a transverse wave. Transverse wave. ये जो waves है, there are two types. आप लोग अपने 10th में पढ़ा होगा, आपका ऑनलाइन लेक्चर्स में या 9th में. Waves are of two types. Those are longitudinal waves and transverse waves. What is the difference between these two? Anyone? Please raise your hand. Yeah, Niral, बताओ.
सर ट्रांसवर्स वेव में ऐसे मतलब परपेंडिकुलर ऑसिलेशंस रहते हैं.
Okay. Perpendicular oscillation. Perpendicular with respect to? direction of propagation of wave,
हाँ.
right? You will be
Yes.
having perpendicular oscillations, perpendicular with respect to direction of propagation of wave. In longitudinal, you will be having parallel oscillations, parallel with respect to direction of propagation of wave. है ना? ऐसा कुछ पढ़ा होगा आप लोग? Everyone, please put your video on.
Yes, sir.
यहाँ से चैप्टर बहुत इंटरेक्टिव होगा. Please put your video on. Okay, what is meant by transverse wave? A transverse wave, first of all, a wave is nothing but a disturbance created in a medium. Agreed?
Yes.
Okay. In transverse wave, the particles of the medium vibrate perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave, and in longitudinal wave, the direction of vibration of particles is parallel to the direction of propagation of wave. Okay, ऐसा कुछ सुना होगा आप लोग? ठीक है. What all we need to understand is only the transverse wave and the properties of transverse wave. Let us see how you can create a wave. Everyone, transverse wave कैसे create कर सकते हो? Suppose there is a particle. ये जो particular particle है, it is vibrating to and fro. ऊपर नीचे vibrate कर रहा है. Okay, this particular particle is vibrating to and fro. This is one of the extreme, and this is the other extreme. ये particle यहाँ से यहाँ तक जा रहा है, वापस आ रहा है, नीचे जा रहा है, वापस आ रहा है. Okay, whenever this particular particle vibrates, उसके बाजू में जो भी particle है, that particle will also start to vibrate because of its motion. Agreed? Okay, initially I am making this particle to vibrate. Because of the vibration of this particular particle, उसके immediate next particle जो है, it will also start to vibrate. Agreed? Okay. वो जो बाजू वाला particle है and ये वाला particle है, these two particles started their motions simultaneously, or is there any time difference?
Slight.
Slight change.
There will be the time difference, right? मतलब
Yes.
ये जो बाजू वाला पार्टिकल जो भी वाइब्रेट हो रहा है, that is because of the motion of this particle. It is not vibrating on its own ना. ये जो पार्टिकल इसको एनर्जी ट्रांसफर किया, उसके वजह से वो वाइब्रेशन स्टार्ट किया है. So if both the particles are not starting their motion simultaneously, when this particle is at its maximum position, okay, or it is at its extreme position, उसके immediate next particle कहाँ पे रहेगा? थोड़ा सा नीचे. Agreed? उसके immediate next particle, similar, that particular motion propagates ना, और थोड़ा नीचे, और थोड़ा नीचे, so on so forth.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you join all such particles, मतलब all the particles are vibrating to and fro, but they are not starting simultaneously. Simultaneously start हुआ तो सब ऊपर सब नीचे ऐसा कुछ होता जाएगा. But यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? As they are not starting simultaneously, you can see some wave-like motion. एक मिनट रुकना. ये वेव जैसा लग रहा है क्या?
Yes, sir.
Give me 2 minutes, huh? ऐसा कुछ दिखेगा आपको?
Yes.
Okay. So इसमें आपको कुछ, so इसमें हो क्या रहा है? All the particles of medium are vibrating to and fro, but the direction of propagation of wave is in this particular direction. Agreed? The direction of propagation of wave is in this direction, and the particles of medium are vibrating to and fro. This particular wave is called as transverse wave, where the particles vibrate perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. Is this clear? Okay. So in any transverse
Yes, sir.
wave, you can observe some points these are called as crests and these points are called as troughs. Okay, this particular point is called as a crest. This particular, the peaks are called as troughs and the depressions are called as crests. ये वाला टर्मिनोलॉजी भी आप लोग को पता होगा, I hope. The maximum displacement of the particle from its mean position, it is called as amplitude. This particular displacement, this is the, we will write all these definitions in a while. एक बार सबसे पहले इसमें मार्क कर लेते हैं. The maximum displacement of the particle from the mean position, this is called as mean position. The maximum displacement of the particle from the mean position is, it is called as amplitude. Okay, ठीक है. What is wavelength?
Different between two consecutive crests or
The length between two consecutive troughs.
It is the distance between any two consecutive crests or any two consecutive troughs. Okay, this particular value is called as wavelength and it is denoted by symbol lambda. Okay, or else you can also visualize wavelength. Everyone, ये important है क्योंकि आपको diagrams में they will not give this particular length value. What they will give is यहाँ से यहाँ तक. The diagram is not to scale, so please don't worry. What will be this particular distance? If that is
by
lambda, what will be this particular distance? This
Lambda.
is also lambda.
no sir.
No.
No.
Everyone, now concentrate करना. The particular diagram is not to scale. ये वाला value lambda है तो ये वाला value कितना होगा करके question.
Lambda.
Half of lambda.
Lambda by 2.
Lambda by 2. जिन्होंने lambda by 2 कह रहे, that is the right answer. Lambda by 2 is right answer. Let us try to understand that the distance between two consecutive crests or two consecutive troughs, it is called as, this is crest and this is trough, is called as wavelength. But the general definition is the distance between any two equivalent points. Equivalent points matlab the points which are similar. The distance between any two equivalent points is called as wavelength. matlab kya hai? If you observe this particular point, ये वाला particular point है. In the wave motion, this particular point is pointing upwards, right? Okay. ये जो particular point है, this is pointing downwards. If I am seeing the wave in this direction, this particular point is pointing upwards and this point is pointing downwards. Both of them are having same distance from the mean position. So with respect to the distance from the mean position, they are similar. But with respect to the motion, ये जो particular point, it is pointing upwards, this point is pointing downwards. So these two are not considered as equivalent points. ये जो particular point है, everyone, look at this particular point. This particular point, in the next time step, this will be going upwards. The distance of the point from the mean position is similar to that of this distance. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
So यहाँ से यहाँ तक जो distance रहेगा, this entire distance, this will be again called as wavelength.
Wavelength.
Okay. So ये जो particular point है, इन दोनों के exact बीच में रहेगा. So this will be lambda by 2. ये जो particular distance है, if it is drawn to scale, this particular distance will be lambda upon 2. Okay. You can identify any 2 points if they are equivalent. If they are equivalent, the distance between those two will be lambda. If they are not equivalent का मतलब क्या है? The distance will be same, but the direction of motion will be different. This particular point is moving upwards, this particular point is moving downwards. And these two are not considered as equivalent. आपको दो ही distance हो सकता है. यहाँ से यहाँ तक either you have lambda और यहाँ से यहाँ तक you have lambda by 2. Is this clear?
Yes.
सिमिलरली यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक आपका लैम्डा बाय 2 रहेगा, यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक यू विल बी हैविंग लैम्डा. ओके, this is moving downwards, this point is also moving downwards. I hope this is clear everyone. Okay, ठीक है. So कुछ definitions लिख लेते हैं. Let us mark the definitions. The first definition is amplitude, represented by symbol capital A. What is amplitude? It is the maximum displacement of the vibrating particle from its mean position. Agreed? What will be the units of it?
Meters.
Distance है ना, so it can be meters or centimeters, etc. Okay. यहीं पे हम और एक भी डिफाइन कर लेंगे, which is intensity. Intensity of the wave is that quantity which is directly proportional to amplitude square. Intensity of the wave is directly proportional to amplitude square. हमको बस इतना ये relation ही याद रखना है. No need to worry exactly कितना होता है. There will be some proportionality constant. No need to worry about that. Intensity is a quantity which is directly proportional to amplitude square. मतलब ये जो wave का amplitude जितना ज़्यादा होता जाएगा, the intensity of the wave will be more and more. Is this clear? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let us define wavelength. Wavelength is denoted by symbol lambda. You need to pronounce this as lambda. Okay. आप लोग सुना होगा इसके बारे में already.
Yes.
Lambda. Okay. Okay. What is wavelength? Distance between any two consecutive crests or troughs. Ayush, please be on mute.
Yes.
Distance between any two consecutive crests or troughs or equivalent points. What is meant by an equivalent point? Points
Two
having
similar
same
points.
distance, similar points. Points having same distance from the mean position and the direction of motion is same. मतलब ये जो particular point है, it is pointing upwards. This point is pointing downwards. So these two are not equivalent. This point is also pointing upwards. So these two are two consecutive equivalent points. So उन दोनों के बीच में भी distance lambda होगा. Okay. Good. Okay. What symbol is lambda? What are the units? Units are important.
Meter, centimeter.
The units are meter, centimeter, and we define a new unit called nanometer. Everyone, nanometer. And our एक unit है angstrom. A naught. Meter, centimeter, nanometer, and angstrom. Everyone remember this. The unit conversions, 1 nanometer is equals to 10 raised to minus 9 meters.
Yes, sir.
1 angstrom is equal to 10 raised to minus 8 centimeters, which is equal to 10 raised to minus 10 meters. Very important. 1 angstrom is 10 raised to minus 8 centimeters or 10 raised to minus 10 meters, because these are the units you are going to see in your question papers. They will give the units in terms of nanometers or angstroms. 1 angstrom is 10 raised to minus 8 centimeters or 10 raised to minus 10 meters. Okay? ठीक है, ये हो गया wavelength. Can anyone tell me the definition for time period?
Time required for
Required for a wavelength.
one wave to
Time
complete
required
one
to
wave.
complete one oscillation.
Simple record. Yes. The time required to complete one full oscillation. What is meant by one full oscillation? ये जो point है, यहाँ से start होके ऊपर गया, इस place पे आया, फिर से नीचे गया, it got back to its original position. This is one complete oscillation. Okay? Everyone, this is one complete oscillation. So that particular time, the time required to complete one full oscillation is called as one time period, or you can also define that as, everyone concentrate, it is the time taken to travel a distance of one wavelength or to have a displacement of one wavelength. Distance नहीं बोलना चाहिए. ये जो point है, यहाँ से start होके ऊपर गया. Actually, the point is not moving, only the wave, the disturbance is moving. So ऐसा कुछ visualize करना है. ऊपर गया, नीचे आया, फिर से यहाँ पे आया, came back to its original position. So this particular displacement is nothing but one wavelength, na? Okay. The time required for the wave to travel a distance of one wavelength, that can also be treated as time period. Is that clear? The time taken to complete one full wave or the time taken to complete one full oscillation is called as time period. Okay. What will be the units?
Seconds.
Seconds. Okay. What is frequency?
Number of oscillations in 1 second.
Frequency, it is denoted by symbol nu. Frequency of the wave is denoted by symbol nu, nu. Okay. This looks like V, but this is not V. This is called as nu. Everyone. Okay. Okay. What is frequency? Frequency is nothing but number of waves or the number of oscillations per unit time. यहाँ पे definition लिखता हूँ. Let us try to write the formula again. What is frequency? Number of oscillations or waves per unit time. Everyone. ये जो particular path है, यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक, this is equal to one complete wave. In order to have this complete wave, what is the time taken? Time period?
Yes, sir.
Time period. So you are having the number of waves as 1 in a time of capital T. So what will be the formula for nu? What is frequency? It is the number of waves per unit time. You are having
Lambda
one
upon
wave in a time of one time period. Okay. So the formula becomes 1 upon capital T. Agreed? Number of waves per unit time. You have one wave
Yes,
in a
sir.
time of one time period. Okay. What will be the units for this?
Hertz.
Units 1 upon second. That 1 upon second is called as hertz. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
ओके ओके गुड. और एक डेफिनेशन भी हमें चाहिए, वेव नंबर. वेव नंबर denoted by symbol nu bar. I will tell you the definition. Please tell me the formula. So पहले yeah, wave number. The definition is, it is the number of waves per unit length. Wave number is number
Lambda
of
upon
waves per unit length. Sorry,
1 by lambda.
lambda upon meter.
lambda upon meter. Meter is the unit. It is not length ना. Per unit length मतलब एक unit length मतलब per one length,
Lambda.
1 upon lambda. देखो यहाँ पे देखो, in this particular distance, the number of waves you are having are 1. What is the distance? Nothing but lambda. The number of waves, you have one wave in a length of 1 lambda. Okay, so the number of waves per unit length, nu bar, will be equal to number of waves you are having one wave in a length of 1 lambda. So nu bar is equals to 1 upon lambda. Agreed? What are going to be
Yes,
the
sir.
units?
Yes, sir.
Units will be equal to 1 upon meter or 1 upon centimeter. इन दो को ही यूज करते हैं, 1 upon meter और 1 upon centimeter. Last, speed of the wave. Speed of the wave, I am denoting it by symbol c. What is speed of the wave? What is the actual definition of speed? Speed is equals to
Distance upon time.
distance upon time.
Distance upon time.
उतना ही रखते हैं. Speed c is equals to, it is the distance traveled by the wave per unit time. Distance traveled by the wave per unit time. It is traveling a distance of, everyone, it is traveling a distance of 1 lambda in a time of 1 time period. So what can I write? C equals to, एक minute, huh? What can I write C equal to?
Nu lambda upon t.
C is equals to distance it is traveling is lambda upon the time is 1 time period.
T.
I can also write this as lambda into 1 upon t.
Yes.
We know that
Yes.
1 upon t is equals to nu.
Yes.
Yes,
So you
sir.
can also write C is equals to nu times lambda. Most important relation in the chapter of atomic structure. C is equals to nu lambda. Or else I can say, बाद में देखते हैं, उसके बारे में बाद में समझाता हूँ. अभी के लिए इतना काफी है. What are the formulas? Nu is equals to 1 upon time period. C is equals to nu lambda. Nu bar, wave number is equals to 1 upon lambda. Okay, yeah. बोलो, someone is asking some doubt.
सर लैम्बडा मतलब पूरे वेव ने कितना डिस्टेंस कवर किया वो कंसिडर
Wave,
करेंगे.
हाँ, ये हम ऐसा मार्क करते हैं, but this is the particles motion is not this, or the wave motion is also not this. These are the particles are simply vibrating ना. So wave distance जो है यहाँ से यहाँ तक यही कंसिडर करेंगे. Okay,
यस सर.
okay, ऐसा कुछ हम मार्क करते हैं, but this is not the actual path. The path is this. The wave is going in this particular direction. The particles are vibrating in this direction. Okay, so यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक. Clear है?
यस सर.
Okay, I hope all of these definitions are clear. Frequency पर समझ में आया, wave number, speed, everything. Okay. So this is about transverse wave. This is not an electromagnetic wave. So we need to understand what is meant by an electromagnetic wave. An electromagnetic wave, everyone. Last है. Let us try to understand an electromagnetic wave. Please try to understand this. एक जो electromagnetic wave है, it is combination of two transverse waves. You are having combination of two transverse waves here, and both the transverse waves are perpendicular to each other. ये एक plane में है, and this is in the perpendicular plane. I will try to draw this. An electromagnetic wave is nothing but combination of two transverse waves, and both the waves are in perpendicular planes, or both the waves are perpendicular to each other.
In a same plane.
They are not in the same plane, they are in perpendicular planes.
Okay.
पूरा डायग्राम ड्रॉ करने के बाद आपको थोड़ा बहुत आइडिया आ सकता है. गिव मी 2 मिनट्स. और सब लोग एनसीईआरटी टेक्स्ट बुक पढ़ा तो उसमें भी दिखेगा आपको.
सर,
एक मिनट. या टेल मी, पूछो.
आप जो ब्लैक लाइन से ड्रॉ कर रहे हैं दैट इज इन द सेम प्लेन ना?
हाँ, वो सब एक प्लेन में है.
ओके.
Can you see two waves traveling perpendicular to each other?
Yes.
I hope it is evident. आया समझ में? An electromagnetic wave, it is a combination of two transverse waves, and it is formed because of combinations of electric fields and magnetic fields. Electromagnetic wave. So here the disturbance is because of combination of two fields. A wave is nothing but the disturbance created in the medium. Whenever you have a charge, around the charge you are having an electric field. If the charge is in motion, there will be generation of magnetic field too. Okay, so these two in combination, it will be forming electromagnetic wave, which has both electric field. I am representing the electric field using symbol E. Electric field, it is a vector, and magnetic field represented by symbol B. इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड एंड मैग्नेटिक फील्ड, आपको इतना ही समझना है ये जो electromagnetic radiation है, it is a combination of two transverse waves. One of the wave is generated because of the electric field and the other wave is generated because of the magnetic field, and both of these are perpendicular to each other. The wavelength of the electric field will be exactly equal to the wavelength of the magnetic field. Okay, इसका amplitude सब same रहेगा. So the amplitude of the electromagnetic wave is nothing but the simple amplitude of the transverse wave. The wavelength of the electromagnetic wave is also similar to that of transverse wave, and frequency, intensity, सब similar रहेगा. The only difference between usual transverse wave and electromagnetic wave is all electromagnetic waves travel with constant speed. Everyone, all transverse waves need not travel with constant speed. You can generate different waves of different speeds. But if you have an electromagnetic radiation के लिए एक common general example है the thermal radiation. If you are heating any object, उस object के अंदर से you can feel radiations emitting out of it whenever you place your hand beside it. थोड़ा एक warmth जैसा feel होता है ना. That particular warmth is because of thermal radiations, and thermal radiation is part of electromagnetic wave. Thermal radiation is also an electromagnetic wave. Okay, it has electric field as well as magnetic field. Thermal radiation किस वजह से आया है? Whenever you are heating it, the electrons are vibrating inside that particular material because of their motions, because of the electronic motion, because of their loss of energy. Okay, they are producing that electromagnetic wave. Is this clear? आपको इतना ही समझना है. An electromagnetic wave is a combination of electric field and a magnetic field. The wavelength, the frequency, the intensity, the amplitude are similar to that of the definitions are similar to that of the transverse wave. The only difference is the speed. All electromagnetic radiations, very, very important. All electromagnetic radiations, electromagnetic EM, all electromagnetic waves travel with constant speed equals to 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. ये जो 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second, एक इसका वैल्यू है
Speed of light.
Light के
speed of light. So light जो है, light is also a form of electromagnetic radiation. Okay, light is an electromagnetic radiation, hence इसका speed भी 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second है. So what I can write is, we already know the formula, C is equals to nu lambda.
Yes,
If
sir.
C is constant, if C is constant, can I write nu is inversely proportional to lambda?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
मतलब जिस पर्टिकुलर इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक रेडिएशन का फ्रीक्वेंसी ज्यादा रहेगा उसका वेवलेंथ कम होगा. More is the frequency, less is the wavelength, less is the frequency, more is the wavelength. Is this clear, everyone?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. और भी एक चीज हमको मार्क करना है. I will mark that as well.
Sir,
Yeah, tell me.
sir, इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड का और मैग्नेटिक फील्ड का जो फ्रीक्वेंसी और लैम्बडा में चेंज है वो साथ में होगा ना, मतलब सेम ही होगा ना?
Same ही रहेगा. That won't साथ में ही रहेगा. If there is any change in that, that will be appearing simultaneously for both of them. Okay. Okay. One last thing I want to mention, which is electromagnetic spectrum.
Yes, sir.
I'm defining all of these things to understand further theories. So अभी के लिए हम बस definitions देख रहे हैं. We are not going into, or we have not seen any further theory. बाद में देखेंगे. Electromagnetic spectrum. What is meant by spectrum?
Band.
Band of 7 colors.
Band of color.
A spectrum is nothing but band. Okay, electromagnetic spectrum matlab it is band of electromagnetic radiations. If I collect all the different types of electromagnetic radiations present in this universe, and if I arrange them in some particular order, all the electromagnetic radiations will differ either in their frequency or wavelength. सबका speeds तो same ही रहेगा. Different electromagnetic radiations can be characterized by their different frequencies or their different wavelengths. Okay. If I pick all the different types of electromagnetic radiations and if I arrange them in a particular order, I will be getting a band. Okay, that particular band is called as electromagnetic spectrum. And that particular band I am interested in, or I am marking them in increasing order of wavelength. Left to right, what is happening? Lambda बढ़ रहा है. Left to right, lambda increases. If lambda increases, what should happen to the frequency?
Decrease.
Frequency
Decreases. Okay. सबसे ज़्यादा frequency radiations, those are cosmic rays,
sir, gamma rays ना?
cosmic rays gamma rays से भी ज़्यादा है.
Okay sir.
Cosmic rays के बाद you have gamma rays. There is some particular range, मतलब there is एक particular frequency से लेके इस particular frequency तक you will be calling all of those rays as gamma rays. और इस particular wavelength से इस particular
Yes, sir.
wavelength तक all the rays will be called as gamma rays. Okay, there is some range. The range is given in your NCERT textbook. You can please go through that range. No need to remember that. Not required. After gamma rays, we have
X-rays.
X-rays.
X-ray.
After X-rays, we have
UV
rays.
rays.
Ultraviolet rays. Okay. Then you have visible spectrum.
Visible.
ये जो visible spectrum है, you can further divide this into 7 different components.
Yes sir.
We've got how does indigo look? Is this indigo? I think this is violet. Indigo ऐसा कुछ?
हाँ. little.
Then what is blue? Okay, indigo. I'm bad with colors.
Indigo is like made of blue and purple.
Okay.
It is their combination.
Okay, thank you. Then you have yellow. This doesn't look like yellow. You have orange. And finally you have red. Okay. After
Yes,
UV rays, you are having visible
Infrared.
spectrum. और visible spectrum में further मैंने यहाँ पे segregation किया है.
Okay sir.
And this starts from 400 nanometers. ये आपको याद रखना है. 400
sir.
nanometers to 750 nanometers.
750 nanometers.
400 nanometers to 750 nanometers. This is visible spectrum. After visible spectrum, you have infrared region, infrared
Yes.
rays. Then you have
Microwave.
microwaves. Then you have radio waves, which are used in communication systems. Then you have
Yes, sir.
long radio waves. मतलब radio waves से भी बड़ा है in wavelength, and they are called as long radio waves. Okay, I hope this is visible to everyone.
Yes.
Yes.
Is this clear? Okay.
Yes.
इसमें और भी कुछ information identify कर लेते हैं. As you go from left to right, everyone, as you go from left to right in the visible spectrum, what is happening to the wavelength?
Increase.
Increasing.
Increasing.
Lambda increases, and what is happening to the frequency?
Decreases.
Decreases. Can you tell me the color having highest wavelength?
Red.
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 ऐसा आपको सिंपल क्वेश्चंस पूछा जाता है इन नीट एज वेल एज मेंस आल्सो. मतलब इतना भी डायरेक्ट नहीं, थोड़ा इसके एप्लीकेशन में. कलर हैविंग हाईएस्ट लैम्डा इज
Yes,
रेड.
sir.
Color having highest frequency,
Violet.
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 okay. Red है, violet. Okay. I hope this is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
good.
sir.
ठीक है, यहाँ पे 3 क्वेश्चंस दिया है. ऐसा ही क्वेश्चंस आपको अब इस संडे वाले टेस्ट में भी आएगा. Try to solve this question. Easy
Okay.
question, formula based.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
A radio station broadcasts on a frequency of 1.368 kilohertz. Kilo indicates 10 power 3 kilohertz. Calculate the wavelength and wave number. Ayush, please be on mute. People who are confused, आपको बस एक ही फॉर्मूला यूज करना है कोई भी क्वेश्चन के लिए. C is equals to nu lambda. And for any electromagnetic radiation, C will always be equal to 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. So you know frequency as
Okay, sir.
1.368 into 10 power 3 hertz. 1 hertz is equals to 1 upon second. Okay. So इससे lambda क्या हो जाएगा? Nothing but C upon nu. C is 3 into 10 power 8 divided by, you can substitute along with units, meter per second, divided by hertz is 1368. Hertz is 1 upon second.
हाँ.
तो आपको 1 upon second cancel हो जाएगा. You will be left with answer in terms of meters. You can write this as 3000 into 10 power 5 divided by 1368. Please tell me the answer. This answer is in terms of meters. You can also convert this into kilometers. Answer, please.
फिर 2.19 कुछ तो आता है.
2.19.
2.192.
हाँ.
2.192. 2 or 2.19 into 10 power 5 meters, or else can I write this as 219 into 10 power 3
10
meters,
raised to 3 meters. Yes.
which is nothing but 219 kilometers.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you observe, the wavelength of this is very very high. इसलिए वो जो रेडियो कम्युनिकेशंस है, they are able to travel, those particular radiations are able to travel to longer distances. Okay. The reason for using them in radio communications is because of their larger wavelengths, so that they can travel to larger distances. Okay. ठीक है, ये हो गया wavelength. Wave number क्या होता है?
1 by lambda.
लैम्डा
Nu bar is equals to 1 upon lambda. You already have the lambda is 1 upon 219 into 10 power 3 meters, which is equal to 10 raised to minus 3 upon 219 meter inverse into 1000 divided by 1000 करके आप लोग, you can write this as 1000 into 10 raised to minus 6 upon 219 meter inverse. Agreed?
Yes.
Yes.
1000 divided by 219 आपको आता है 4.56. So this is 4.56 into 10 raised to minus 6 meter inverse. Okay. Options के हिसाब से आप लोग को calculations करना है. If they are giving that as in terms of 10 raised to minus 6, try to get that in terms of 10 raised to minus 6. Okay. Okay. I'm leaving the other two questions as homework. Please solve them as homework. Again, they are simple formula application. You won't be having any doubt. आपको बस यही formula apply करना है. C is equals to nu lambda. Nu bar is equals to 1 upon lambda. Yeah. Frequency is 1 upon time period. Yeah.
1000 into 10 raised to minus 6 कैसे आया?
यहाँ पे मैं ऐसा कुछ कोशिश कर रहा हूँ everyone. I want to divide 1 divided by 219 ना. 1 divided by 219 से अलावा 1000 divided by 219 is easy. So I am multiplying the numerator and denominator by 1000. Numerator और denominator को 1000 से multiply किया. Okay, so 1000 upon 219 ये हो गया. 10 raised to minus 3 upon 1000, 10 raised to minus 6 हो गया. Okay.
Okay, sir.
जिसके साथ डिवीजन इजी लगेगा उसके हिसाब से I will be dividing and multiplying it by that particular number. 1000 से डिवीजन इजी है rather than 1 upon 219. Okay.
Yes, sir.
ऐसा किया है. Clear है?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. We will continue in the next lecture. Please take these two questions as homework. इस क्वेश्चन में आपको wavelengths दिया है violet और red का, and I am asking their corresponding frequencies. Express these wavelengths in frequencies. You need to convert these wavelengths into frequencies. इसमें आपको wavelength दिया है. I need to calculate the wave number as well as frequency. The wavelength is given in terms of angstroms. 1 angstrom is 10 raised to minus 10 meters or 10 raised to minus 8 centimeters. Okay, solve these two questions.
Sir, so we have to convert that into meter for solving.
We need to convert this into meter for solving, definitely. Okay, we will continue in the next lecture. In the next lecture, we will try to understand और जो Maxwell's का theory है वो सही है atom पे ऊपर. Can we apply that or not? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
You
sir.
can
Yes, sir.
read.
Yes, sir.
You can read further in NCERT textbook. आप लोग का NCERT textbook में भी पढ़ के you try to understand. So whenever we do that in the classroom, you can have better understanding. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bye.